Hi, welcome to the QuickIT.net. Today we will going to learn about the SpecFlow tutorial. Okay, so SpecFlow. What do you mean by SpecFlow? SpecFlow is a buzzword in this today's world. Okay, so everybody is talking about how fun it is used to SpecFlow. So let's understand what is the SpecFlow and how I can able to use the SpecFlow inside my software development model, right? So SpecFlow is a testing framework. Okay, so let me open my notepad. Okay, so I will able to write over here. So SpecFlow is nothing but testing framework that support BDD. What does BDD stand for? Behavior driven development. Okay, so it let us define the application behavior in a simple, meaningful, plain English language. Okay, or you can either use the English text using a simple grammar defined by language, which is called as my Jerkin language. Okay, so one of the most popular language being used inside my BDD is called as my Jerkin language. So first we will going to see about how do I set up the SpecFlow with my Selenium with the help of Visual Studio. Hopefully Visual Studio has already been installed on your machine, so I can open my Visual Studio. Okay, the current version 2022. Okay, so you will get such a kind of screen. So what you need to do over here, you can click on the continue without code over here. Okay, because the SpecFlow extension you need to add inside your project. So how do I add my extension? Okay, so here you can find the menu bar. Okay, go to the extension, click on the manage extension. Okay, and inside my search, okay, you can type SpecFlow. Okay, hit enter key from your keyboard. Okay, so you will find the extension which is related to my SpecFlow, which is called as my SpecFlow for Visual Studio 2022. Okay, the green checkbox over here that illustrate the extension, okay, which already been installed on my machine. So if you don't have the extension installed on your machine, you will get the download button over here. Okay, you need to click on the download button. Okay, accept the terms and condition. Okay, so you can able to install successfully extension of my SpecFlow. Okay, so let me create a new project. Okay, by opening the Visual Studio one more time. Okay, over here, so I can able to write first SpecFlow project for you guys, right? So let me open that SpecFlow project first. Okay, so here you can create a new project. You click on this create a new project. Okay, and you can search for the template which is called as my SpecFlow. Okay, so hit enter key again. Okay, I need to create a project for the SpecFlow. Okay, name the project as let's say SpecFlow demo. Fine, click on create button. You can change the directory as well, no problem. So here I will going to add inside my folder. Okay, and click on create. Okay, Nunit, I am going to test my SpecFlow with the help of the framework Nunit. Okay, so click on the create button. Okay, so you can able to configure the new project, okay, of SpecFlow inside my Visual Studio, right? So let's move ahead over here. Once you create a project, okay, then you will get the structure inside your Solution Explorer. Can you able to find out the driver, feature, folder, step definition, support? Okay, they are showing all this thing here. So if you are able to click on the feature file, okay, let me open the calculator.feature file. Okay, so you need to understand what is the feature file. This is the most important aspect in my SpecFlow, right? So you have to understand what is my feature file, how I can able to generate. Okay, so let's move ahead for the same. So feature file is my entry point, okay, where your all the test case has been executed. Okay, suppose if I want to go from source destination to my end destination, okay, then I need to decide the flow, how I can move toward from my source destination to my end destination. So that particular type of description will call that is called as your descriptive language. Okay, suppose let's assume that I want to see a Taj Mahal, okay, from Delhi. Okay, so from Delhi I can travel. Okay, so what kind of travel resource you will going to take place, how you can generate the plan. Okay, so that is systematic way, like the descriptive language you can use. Okay, is a similar way you can execute your test cases, and that is very essential. Okay, to execute my test cases, right? So how I can execute the test cases? I can simply going to create a feature file, okay, which contain the scenario or which contain the many scenarios in a single feature file. Okay, so it is very good idea to create your own feature file. Okay, so this is the default feature file. Okay, but here we are going to see the application which is running using by my SpecFlow. So let me create my own feature file. Okay, so let me delete this. Okay, so I can able to create my own feature file. So how do I create a new feature file? Okay, so here you can right click on my feature folder. Okay, so in my case I would like to create a feature file for my login scenario. Okay, so you have to click on new item over here and choose the SpecFlow, okay, feature file for the SpecFlow, and here you can rename it. Okay, you can rename this as login dot feature. Fine, click on the add button. Right, so your feature file will going to create for you. Right, so this consists of the various keyword. Okay, scenario, given, when, then, feature. What is it is that? Okay, so we will going to identify shortly for the same. Okay, what I will going to put inside the feature, what would be my test scenario, what would be my given, when, and then. Okay, so see, the thing is, if I would like to make a tea, okay, so the question being asked, okay, in the scenario, okay, what are you making? What are you making? The what is the sense, the functionality of my test cases. Okay, so in this case I want to generate what my login feature. So feature is nothing but the characteristic. Okay, what you want to do exactly, right? The scenario is similar like my test scenario. Here you can write your own scenario called as successful. I want to test the application for my successful credential. Okay, so you can write it with the help of successful login with a valid credential. Okay, you can write over here. Right, so given, what would be in the given? Let's say if I would like to make a coffee or the tea, what are the requirements? Okay, what things I do required. Okay, whether it is water, whether it is tea or the coffee. Okay, in a similar fashion, okay, for login, okay, in any application, what should I suggest over here? Okay, given user is at home page, okay, then I can use the another keyword called as and. Okay, so basically on a home page there might be having two different link as well, the sign up and the login. Okay, but specially I would like to click on my navigate to my login page. Okay, so you can write a short story, okay, over here, that is called as my user story, right, and navigate to my login page. And when user enter username and password, and click on my login button, okay, and click on the login button, then successful login message should display, right? Or you can say then user should be land on my dashboard page. Fine, clear? So this is the way of writing your feature file. Okay, in the next chapter we will going to see that how you will going to create your step definition, okay, how you can execute your test cases, right? So thank you for watching. Have a good day.